Logan Paul is an infamous YouTuber. This man does anything for attention. Like, he had that whole thing with the forest like 5 years ago at this point. Man, it's been a while. And then he had that apology video that was so over the top that it was obviously him just forcing crocodile tears out of his face. Logan Paul is just not a good dude. And recently, he's had a lot of success with KSI on this whole Prime energy drink thing. And since it's had a lot of success, the FDA is not happy about it. Because, of course, Logan Paul, being the infamous YouTuber he is, probably didn't look at the rules for marketing super well, or simply just wanted it to be confusing. To be clear, I don't know the rules for the marketing of this stuff. I imagine they broke some kind of marketing rule because it's Logan Paul. He constantly breaks rules and regulations and stuff. But basically, Prime Energy, I've tried the hydration version. It's like super mid. I don't know why it's such a big thing. It is like actually just peak mid. It is so okay. Like, it's just not that good. But anyways, the Prime Energy drink things have two versions: Prime Hydration and Prime Energy. And the FDA is arguing that Logan Paul is not making these super distinct. And I agree. There's like a small label at the bottom that says Prime Energy Drink or Prime Hydration. It is not super clear. And you're probably wondering, okay, so what's the issue? It's like a small difference, right? Well, the issue is that Logan Paul is very popular among children because they don't realize how bad of a person he is. And children aren't very good at reading. I don't know if you could tell, but they're not very good at reading. I'm not very good at reading either, but that's a different story. But since children aren't very good at reading, there's a problem with the Prime brand because Prime Hydration and Prime Energy are not super distinct. And the Prime Energy drinks have 200 milligrams of caffeine, which for caffeine fanatics, it doesn't actually sound like a lot, but if you've never had caffeine before, or you just don't drink caffeine very often, 200 milligrams is enough to get you bouncing off the walls. Like, caffeine tolerance is a very real thing. Like, if you've ever talked to somebody who doesn't drink caffeine very often, a cup of coffee will get them like bouncing around. For people who are jaded to caffeine, 200 milligrams is not a lot. If you drink a lot of caffeine, it just isn't. Like, most adults, I'd say probably drink like 200 to 400 a day, milligrams that is. But the FDA does not like this because the marketing for these two separate drinks is kind of confusing. Prime Hydration is meant to be the all-around solution for people of all ages. And Prime Energy is meant for people who are 18 plus. But there's no real distinction from the outside looking in, so the FDA is not happy about it. It's also notable that the UK has already banned this from being sold to children at school and stuff like that, but I think that's more of a general law in the UK. I'm pretty sure that they already have caffeine restrictions if you're under the age of 16, but I could be wrong on that. It's been a while since I've heard about that law, which I don't think is the worst thing in the world. I think it is a little extreme to give like 14-year-olds rock stars and monsters and all that kind of stuff, because it is really high in caffeine, and caffeine is a psychoactive drug. You might not like to admit it, but it does affect your brain. It's a pretty low-tier psychoactive drug, but it's still a psychoactive drug. And when I was 16, I did not like the sound of not being able to buy a rock star, but at the same time, now that I'm an adult, it's like, hey, you want a rock star? Well, you're 16, grow up a little bit, you can buy one. You know, maybe kick the ladder out from under me just a little bit, because I don't gotta worry about being 16 again. That's over for me. I'm way older than that now. But I think it makes sense that the FDA is like looking into this and investigating Prime Energy a little bit, or Prime in general, I guess, because it's Prime Hydration and Prime Energy. Because I personally don't think kids should be having Prime Energy. Maybe like, you know, 16 and up is fine. I think it's totally fine. And I don't think it's really the worst thing in the world. They have one every once in a while. But if a kid is drinking 3 of these a day, that's probably not good. And I also think it'd be really funny if this whole situation with the FDA had them regulate energy drinks in general. Like Logan Paul caused energy drinks to be regulated entirely. Because it is a little crazy that we could just get these at a gas station and there's no age check or anything, because they are pretty high in caffeine. Like, we restrict so much other stuff. Like, I couldn't buy a lighter a while ago because I was under the age of 21, and we literally just wanted this candle lighter for a fire, and they wouldn't let me buy it because I was not 21. Like, if that's the level of like regulation we're going for, why the hell can a 12-year-old buy 240 milligrams of caffeine? And also, of course, Prime, the company, has said that their marketing is very distinct and it's very separate of who they're targeting with the ads. And personally, I disagree. I think they muddy the waters on purpose. I think they make it look kind of like the same product on purpose, because caffeine is addictive, and if you get kids to drink caffeine, they'll be addicted for life. At least more than likely. Obviously, they can quit caffeine, but it's a habit they built up from, like, you know, the age of 12 or whatever. It's a lot harder to kick that habit. But in my opinion, I think Logan Paul is purposefully muddying the waters to make it look like kind of the same product, so he just sells whatever one. I don't think he really cares. Logan Paul is not a good person. The dude is like actually a scumbag. What can I say besides that? You've probably seen all of it. He's cleaned up his act now, at least publicly. Like, he does a lot less insane stuff, but he's still a scumbag. I mean, the most recent thing was the Crypto Zoo scam. He made this NFT game called Crypto Zoo, and the whole premise was like, you buy an NFT animal and then another NFT animal, and you can like make them have a weird NFT animal baby thing. It's like Pokemon, but they're more ugly and less fun because they can't do anything but like sit there and lose value because they're NFTs. He tried this whole CryptoZoo thing in like 2021 September, which it's been a minute, and it's only still relevant because he scammed everybody involved in that. Like CoffeeZilla made a video exposing him for this. Good, because this is honestly top tier scumbag behavior. And then after the video got too big to ignore, Logan Paul made a response and said, "Hey, CoffeeZilla's right. Thank you for calling me out, CoffeeZilla. I'm sorry for being a scumbag. I'll refund people, I promise." And then, you know, time has passed because that's what time does. And since time has passed, Logan Paul has not refunded anybody and still has not refunded anybody. It's also worth noting that Logan Paul has a class action lawsuit over this NFT game, so it's not looking good for him. It isn't. And the dude's a total scumbag. It would not surprise me if the Prime marketing was meant to be, you know, purposely confusing. He's just not a good person. And as I said earlier, it's not great. It's just mid. It tastes weird, actually. It tastes really artificial, which is what I expect anything with artificial sweetener to taste like for the most part. And it's just not that great. If you really want a hydration solution, there's like plenty of good options. Like Pedialyte is a really good option. Like if you want a hangover cure, unironically, okay, drink like half a bottle of Pedialyte or have like a little liquid IV pack before you go to sleep if you've been drinking. This will not work after the fact. Okay, you need to do it before you go to sleep, but like half a bottle of Pedialyte or a liquid IV packet or something, your hangover will be like way less severe if you have a hangover. Because when you go to sleep, wake up with a hangover, the reason you do is because your liver just used all your water in your body to filter out what you've been drinking, so you have nothing left in your system. That is the biggest cause of a hangover. Literally, hands down, every person I've known who has had a hangover, if you give them liquid IV or Pedialyte the night before they go to sleep, they wake up feeling a lot better than they would have if you didn't do that, because they're just dehydrated. It's like the biggest reason you get a hangover. Of course, you're still gonna feel a little funky because you're poisoning your body, but it's a big help. Or you could just drink a lot of water. That also works because for some reason people are really afraid of water nowadays. I don't know why. There's a TikTok of this mom who had a kid who like refused to drink water but would drink Prime Energy, and it's like, bro, first of all, mother of this child, stop enabling your kid to be a little goblin person and only drink Prime, okay? Why are you enabling this behavior? He doesn't want to drink water? Okay, let him die. Okay, mate. Obviously, don't let your kid die. But if he doesn't want to drink water, okay, you're not getting anything else, kid. You'll eventually cave. They always do. And what's worse, denying your kid Prime hydration because they refuse to drink water, or enabling their Prime hydration addiction because they refuse to drink water? I would say enabling his kid's addiction's a lot worse. But it is insane to me how many people go like, ew, water? That's gross. Bro, it is the natural thing that we are supposed to drink as a collective species. It's 70% of our body. Just drink water. And if your tap water tastes awful, just get a water filter. You can get one you install in your sink, you can get one you put in the fridge, and it's like if you're already buying like Coca-Cola or Prime or Diet Coke or whatever your vice is instead of water, if you just don't buy that for like a week or two, you probably have enough for a water filter. Just get a water filter. Like, trust me, I'm a big water fan, okay? Big fan of water. But in the United States of America, our tap water tastes awful in like majority of places. I hate the tap water here. That's why I use a water filter. Also, when tap water tastes bad, I feel like it's slowly killing me, but you know, that's a different story. If you don't like tap water, just get a water filter. I promise you, your water will taste really good if you just filter it. But yeah, I hope the FDA cracks down on Logan Paul, just because I don't like Logan Paul very much. It's an entirely selfish request. And I don't really believe in karma because I don't see it working, okay? I just don't. I like the idea of karma, like you do something bad happens to you later in life, but these dudes get away with so many bad things, I just don't see it working. So why doesn't karma just step in here and make the FDA do something really funny? Or the FTC. The FTC could also step in and do something really funny here, okay? I know you also don't like Logan Paul, FTC. Do something really funny, please. And after recording all of that, I just realized that KSI also co-owns Prime. I just remembered that. And I think it's kind of funny that, like, no one calls him out for anything. It's always just Logan Paul. Like, every headline you see is just Logan Paul. I guess it's because KSI just either isn't as relevant or does less things that are really awful and doesn't get the attention. And when I imagine Prime being a bad company, I imagine KSI just kind of being on board and not really, like, proposing the ideas. I don't know. To me, it's different. I just think it's kind of funny that KSI just kind of skirts under the radar with all this stuff and Logan Paul gets all the heat for it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Prime kind of sucks. Logan Paul kind of sucks. And you should like and subscribe down below and follow me on Twitter @Spattins1 and click the ad screens now to check out more of my content and have a good one. Prime Energy sucks, okay? It's not good unless they pay me lots and lots of money, and I mean lots of money, like millions, lots of money. That'd be nice, but they're not gonna do that because I just spent however long talking bad about them.